Hi there, we're going to be going over the standard form warm-up or quick check. So we're asked to take this equation from point slope form and write it in standard form. In order to do that, we would have to distribute first half of -8. Then we could get the -7 to the other side by adding it. Here if we'd add, we get 3. Now the x term needs to move to the left. You can do that by subtracting. We'll bring down the 3. Now we know that the x term has to come before the y, so we have -1/2 x plus the positive y. So you can already see your a term, your b is 1 here, and then your c is 3. Couple problems we have though. The first term, the a term, cannot be negative. So in order to get the a term to be positive, I can multiply by -1. But everything on both sides of the equation has to be multiplied by -1. Not only the x term, but the y over here. It's just going to make the sign of everything, the sign of all your terms, opposite. So negative times negative will be a positive 1/2 x. This will become a -y, and then this a -3. Okay, the other problem is that you can't have any of the terms be a fraction. So in order to get rid of the fraction, we multiply by the denominator. Then you can see here the 2 would cancel. But if I multiply this term by 2, I have to do it to every term. So multiplying this term by 2, this term by 2, and over here by 2 as well. You're just doubling everything. So this cancels here, and I get x. And then if I multiply -1 by 2, and then 2 times -3, and now I have the equation in standard form. So it looks like a is 1, b is -2, and c is -6. So we're going to take this equation, we're going to write it right up here. There it is in standard form. Now the next step here would be to find the intercepts, and then once we have the intercepts, we can use them to graph. So to find the intercepts, if I want the x-intercept, I want to figure out where this line is going to cross the x-axis. So I want to find the x, and I know any point along the x-axis has a 0 as the y-coordinate. So I'm going to be taking 0 and plugging it into this equation for y and solving for x. So taking the 0 from here, plugging it in for y. Now I know 2 times 0 is just 0, so I bring down the x, and x is -6. So when y is 0, x is -6. Now I'm going to do the same thing here for the y-intercept. I know that the y-intercept has the x coordinate as 0, and I'm trying to find the y. So I'm going to use the same equation, but this time I'm going to replace the x term, or the x, with 0 here. And you can see the 0 just goes away, and I have -2y. Divide by -2, and y equals 3. So when x is 0, y is 3. So now I have found the 2 intercepts. And then with these 2 intercepts, I can then graph the line on the coordinate plane. So the x-intercept, where this line is going to cross the x-axis, is at -6. So way back over here at -6. That's the point -6, 0. And the y-intercept is where the line is going to cross the y-axis, which is up here at +3. So now that I know where the line is going to cross the x and y-axis, and I have the points there, I can then connect and create the line. And there's the line of this equation.